Good morning. Today is Sunday. Here we begin vlog number 8. And yeah, I'm off to the old town center. There's a church that still does masses I'm gonna try and go to, and then find some sort of brunch somewhere. So yeah. So I went to church and then I got breakfast that was brunch, and now I'm on my walking underground like medieval history tour, and our tour guide is leading us with a plastic axe, so this should be fun. Okay, that tour was really fun. It was very spooky. It's like Halloween in Prague. So I'm glad I did that. That's the only thing that I like signed up for in advance, like before I left Florence. But now I'm going to head across the river, and I want to make my way over to the Prague Castle. But first I need food. I want to try one of those chimney cake cone ice cream things that I keep seeing. Although the tour guide said that they're more like Slovakian, Hungarian. They're not actually Czech, so she's annoyed by them. But I'm gonna get one anyways. So we shall see. I got it. It's very pretty. This is the Tang one. So I just found these spiral potatoes. The Great New York State Fair calls them tater twisters, and I'm obsessed with them and have gotten them every year for the past like 7 years at the fair. It is the only place I've ever seen them in my life. Until Prague. Ow, I just hit myself in the face with it. Anyways, I'm going to eat this and be very happy now. of like Dia de los Muertos kind of things here, which is like weird because this is Prague and not like Mexico. But last night I stumbled upon like this big celebration of a bunch of people with like lit candles, like real candles, and like Dia de los Muertos, the calaveras, like face paintings of the skeletons. And then like they're here too, and it seems kind of like a mariachi kind of thing. I'm not really sure like what kind of cross-cultural phenomenon this is, but it's very interesting. That feel when Apple Maps is trying to get you to walk through a building. Like what? I can't walk through a building. Please stop trying to tell me to walk through a building. Like that's not a street. It's a closed building. So it is my last day in Prague. I head out on the train tonight. I just checked out of the hostel and I had breakfast there. And it was really nice. I really like this hostel. It's like clean, comfortable, very put together. Like they've made themselves like a whole little brand, and they have like a cafe and a bar area, and the breakfast buffet is in the bar area. Just like a continental breakfast at a hotel type of thing. And everything is like really nice. Like I was very happy there. So now I'm gonna head out to the historic old town, and I'm determined to get into that castle. Like, I was not able to yesterday, because by the time I finally got to the castle, it was like, oh, well, it closes in 1 minute. So that's today's mission, and we'll see how that goes. So I did finally make it into like the castle complex. There's a lot to it, and I'm up. I just climbed a billion stairs to the top of one of the spires or towers of this crazy giant cathedral, and it's pretty cool. As you can see, Prague is a lot more fall colored than Tuscany, but here's some of the spires. And then come over here, there's like all of this. So that's like the castle palace, like down there. And the lower town, or the lesser town, I think they call it, is with all these red roofs and stuff. And then like the rest of Prague is across the river, where I've been like the rest of this time. So that is the tower that I just climbed. On the way down, I counted, it was 285 steps, like in a spiral staircase made of stone, which is like cool and all. Also, I'm wearing like a crazy backpack because I checked out of my hostel, and I do traveling with backpacks because I have like my train in a couple hours. But yeah, now I'm gonna try and get into the rest of the cathedral because I bought the ticket for everything. So I'm gonna, well, it already looks like the line is shorter than it was 2 hours ago, so that's promising. So I am back in Florence. I didn't like film anything of me coming home, so it was like nighttime on trains with people. But I was on an overnight train I didn't pay for like a bed or anything, so it was interesting. But I made it home this morning and I took a lovely long shower at my homestay house, and now I'm headed to meet both of my parents at their Airbnb. And I'm bringing this bag of laundry with me because I got home and my host parents told me that their washing machine broke, and I'm like, well, I need to wash like all the clothes that I brought with me. And then it started raining, but I think it's actually done raining for the moment. But yeah, that's the update on that, and I still have 5 more days of break left. This is great. Also, it's Halloween. Happy Halloween. I have my little Halloween colors on. I don't know. They don't really like do Halloween much here, although tonight I signed up myself and my parents for a like Halloween spooky Florence walking tour type of thing, so that should be fun. So it's been a good evening. I went and met my parents for lunch, and then so we had some pizza, and then I kind of took them around the city a little bit. My mom's already been here for almost a week with her friend, but my dad just got here today. So we were able to like introduce him to Florence, and then I slept on a train last night, so I went back actually to my parents' Airbnb and took a nap. And then we headed out for the spooky, haunted Florence Legends and Tales walking tour thing that I had booked. And that was really cool. We had a great tour guide. He was very knowledgeable, very interesting. Learned some spooky Florentine ghost stories. So that's exciting. And then we just found another place for like a light dinner kind of thing. And now I'm heading back home to sleep. And then tomorrow will be a new day. We don't have anything planned yet, but I still have plenty more time of break to hang out with my parents and see more of this lovely place. Happy Halloween! So, this is me from the future, but my parents and I on Wednesday ended up going to the Ospedale degli Innocenti, which was an orphanage kind of thing for like 500 years. But now it's a museum, and then there's also a church that's like in the same piazza. So that's what these next few clips are from. There's like art gallery stuff, and then also like a little bit more about when it was a hospital / orphanage. And then on Thursday, we went to the Academia Gallery and saw the David, the famous statue. And then we also went and climbed the cupola of the Duomo. So that was a busy day. They were both like guided tour things that my mom had booked, so you'll see all of that. We are about to see the famous David of Michelangelo. So the inside of the Duomo isn't actually that impressive. It's kind of strange because like the outside is so ornate and then the inside is just like... So there are, I think, 463 steps that you climb to get to the top of the cupola of the Duomo. And it's a lot, but it's nice and broken up, which is good. It's not like the spiral staircase I climbed in that tower in Prague. But yeah, it was still a lot. 100, 101, 102, 103, 300 more. Herringbone. And then on the walk home, my parents indulged me and we went through the Piazza della Repubblica and went on the carousel that is in there that I've been wanting to go on since I got here, because who doesn't love a carousel? And it was so pretty because it was night and it had just rained, and everything is so much prettier at night after it rains because it's all lit up and reflecting in the cobblestones. It was great because carousels are great. And then Friday was a very, very, very busy day. We had a guided bus tour that was like 12 hours. We went back to Siena, my beloved, and then we went to this winery in just Tuscany, in the Tuscan countryside, and had a wine tasting and lunch. That's the next clip. And then after that, we went to San Gimignano, which is like a little medieval town in Tuscany, and then you'll see the last place we went to. The Leaning Tower of Pisa. We didn't go inside it, but we went around it. We were only there for like an hour, and it was really pretty, all lit up as it was dusk, like the sun was setting, so it was really nice. So it's kind of fun because it's like the Eiffel Tower. It's one of those landmarks that you hear about all the time as a kid. Like, the Uffizi is great, but you don't hear about that all the time as a kid. The Leaning Tower of Pisa is like, oh wow, it's actually real. Yeah, anyways, it's currently Sunday, so we are going to end this one here and pick up in the next one.